everyone, welcome to this unboxing. Today I am looking at the Aputure Amaran F7 light. I bought this to use as a key light for my indoor work. So this video will be just an unboxing, and I'll talk about the specs as you watch the unboxing and different little features on screen. And then in a separate video I will actually have a look at how the light works. So just to give you a little bit of background why I bought this light, I mainly use window lighting to light things up in my videos, and I want to start experimenting a little bit more with artificial lighting to get into the world of sort of cinematic lighting. Some of you know from my previous videos that I used to have the Aputure 120D, which was a fantastic light, but back in that time I had really no idea about how to use it, so I moved it on to someone else that had more of an interest, and now I'm coming back, so I didn't want to spend all the money again. I just wanted to go something simpler, and after doing a little bit of research, this seemed to be a good light as a starting point. So let's have a look at the unboxing. As you can see, it came in a really cool little bag, pouch, whatever we call it. Quite handy if you're taking the light out or you need to put it in a bag and you want a little bit of padding so it doesn't get damaged. Inside the bag is the light. Obviously it's about palm size, quite nice and small and easy to travel with. There's a little ball head that comes with it that can attach to the hot shoe on your camera, or of course a light stand if that's what you prefer, if you want to have it off camera. And the cable that you saw me unbox just before was the charging cable, which is a USB-C connection, and that little screw is just your conversion from the 1/4 inch to 3/8. And a couple more things, just a couple of diffusion panels and some instructions, etc. And the pouch, as you can see, has a little movable divider in it. So we'll just cut to a shot where I can show you everything laid out in one so you can see what it comes with. So we've got the light at the top, the 2 diffusion panels, the little pouch, the ball head, the little conversion screw, the USB-C charging cord, the warranty, and the instructions. So this leads us to the more exciting part of actually turning the light on and having a look at how it works. So let's talk about power options. There's 3 different ways you can get this light going. You can use DTAP, you can use Sony NP-F batteries, or the USB option, so Type-C, USB Type-C. That's the option I'm going with. The actual light, I don't know if you have any other Aputure lights. I've got the AL-M9, which has a sort of battery on board built into it. This light does not, so you don't charge it and then take it off the charger and use it. You actually need to provide a power source, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use a USB power bank and just use the cord to plug into that rather than using it via a Mac, say. I'm going to charge it into a USB power pack, which I think is such a clever way to power it. It means you can just take a couple of power packs with you and put the light into the power pack, attach it to the back, and then you're right to go. Also seems to be perhaps a cheaper option because the power pack can be used for other things, whereas the batteries are sort of dedicated to these type of devices. And just before we put the light on, I'll just show you how it mounts to the ball head. Just ignore the tripod I'm using, it's got a double ball head now, but never mind. So that's the little converter that goes through the bigger screw to the larger screw, smaller screw to the larger screw, and then you just mount that on top, or you can put it on your hot shoe, and then the light just sits on top, and then you've got the full motion of the ball head so that you can adjust the direction of the light, as well as a 90-degree lock angle. And just showing you there that the light has 3 different mounting screws, so you can go horizontal, vertical, whichever way you need. So we'll have a look at the light in action now. On the side there's an on and off switch, and that lights up a panel. On the side at the top there's a little knob that turns, and you can also push it in. One push and you can adjust the top markers there, and another push and it goes down to the bottom ones. So the top reading there is your Kelvin, so 34 means 3400 Kelvin, and the bottom reading is the intensity of the light. The light can do all the way from 3200 Kelvin to 9500 Kelvin, and the intensity can be adjusted from 0 to 100. And if you're interested in specs, the CRI of the light is more than 95, the TLCI is also more than 95, and in terms of illuminance, At 0.3 of a meter, its brightness is around 14,000 lux. At half a meter, around 5,500, and at a meter, around 1,500 lux. The glow angle of the light is 45 degrees, and the number of LEDs in the light is 256. And obviously the brightest light will be right in the middle at 5,500. And the minimum illuminance you can get on this light, measured at half a meter at 3,200 Kelvin, is 8 lux. And on screen there you can see me showing you the diffusion filters. So there's two different ones. One is a sort of clear one, the other one a little bit less transparent. And if you're wondering if you can put both of them in at the same time, you can't. They don't fit. So just a couple more specs while you watch me fiddle with the diffusers there. The light is 260 grams, which is just over half a pound. And in terms of dimensions in millimeters, it is 158 by 87 by 34. So quite small. And as far as the mechanics of the light, you've got two different rows of coloured lights. So at the extreme scale of the Kelvin, you only have one set of those on. That's why the highest output is right in the middle at 5,500 when both lights are on. And just quickly back to the power supply, if you did have multiple sources of power plugged in, so DTAP, Sony NFP and or USB-C, then the priority order of those being used would be DTAP prior to the Sony NPF batteries and Sony NPF batteries prior to the USB-C. And one other thing to mention is that there is a little memory chip on board in the light that will keep the last setting of the light. So the way you've turned it off will be the way it turns on in terms of color, temperature and intensity. So that kind of brings us to the end of the unboxing. I think I mentioned most things. Of course, there's something I always miss out or I forget to say, so I'll just leave that in the description or in the comments. Actually probably in the description. I hope you found the video helpful. Of course I'll be testing out the light I think in the next video, so I'll actually turn it on and do a couple of different setups to try and work out if it is a good key light or not. So tune into that. Should be out in a couple of days, maybe even tomorrow. And if you have any questions about this light or anything else, just leave them in the comments. I usually read all my comments and try to reply to all of them. So yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.